Hello everyone and welcome to the LSI F1.5 EU Championship. We're today for the Japanese Grand Prix and hopefully this time the stream can hold up. It's looking good so far, but I mean that's when I last checked it, so it might not be as good. Anyway, we're going to try our best to carry on and hopefully everything is fine. If everything does go well, then we might even be able to have better quality in the future for the live streams, but not entirely sure. Anyway, qualifying is underway. Dave Raptors currently leads the timing sheet by not very much, just under half a tenth. Gilly's doing a good job so far. As we know, it's looking like a pretty dry race throughout, so it should be staying that way. It would be absolutely incredibly ridiculous to see any changes. So this is how it's gonna go. Alright. So, championship leader, Dave Raptors. Can he hold on? Devon Young, his pretty much closest rival throughout the season, is not here. We've got a couple new drivers. Jack Lever, he is in the Alpine today. We also have IGTC 2511, who we will be calling Josh. Just to make sure that you're aware. So when I mention Josh, I'm mentioning the other Alpine driver. And then we see the return of Balance, so that's awesome to see. Got a couple more reserve drivers, as that is Robert going a little bit too far over the limit, and he has backed off this lap, so he will not continue with this one for now. We've got IGTC on their way, but they're on an out lap. Who is the closest driver to the top? Who will be setting a lap, I believe. Monk, has he finished the lap and he's on a cooldown lap? Once again, right up there, loving life in that third position. In the Williams today, I think he is definitely not going for a fast lap, so we will come back to him a little bit later on. Oggio, in the Red Bull, they are a permanent driver after a very long time waiting. They were driving the Alfa Romeo back in Spain. That was race 2. And they were racing also in the Alfa Romeo for race 1 in Monza. Singapore, they missed out, but finally they do sit in this car. Apparently Red Bull's not their favourite team, but, you know, they're still here, so that is good to see for sure. Okay, we will find out what everybody can do. It's all a little bit of a mix. Not too many people are on laps as of now. We might try and go to Robbo if we can again. He's just opening this lap. Flexard is on their way to finish their lap right here. So we will have a look at what they can do. Coming into the final sector. Over the curve in the Casio triangle, out the final corner, get the traction down. Be careful how far and how early you bring it to the right, otherwise you will lose the traction. That's a 28.5 there for Flexard. And we will now go with Robbo to see if he can get the S section right. So far, not too bad. We saw him race yesterday in the F1 Championship. He was running the curbs a little bit in the S section. This time he avoids it, and that is going to be the fastest way around the circuit, so you can ensure maximum stability, and you always want that if you want to get pace into the car. Otherwise you're just going to ruin your chances. So you can get down on the traction a bit better. He rides over the exit curve, which you can do, but you're going to be so careful in these ground effect cars as you will bottom out. He did bottom out, but luckily he kept it straight. And on the exit, once again, riding the curve just with the right-hand tyres, which can be a risk, but it can gain you time if you take it right into Spoon early on the apex. I mean, it's kind of a double apex, really. I think it might even be classed as 2 corners, but he gets it right, lovely jubbly. On the exit, it's pretty difficult to get right if you don't bring it too far right. In the middle of the corner, he's got a car just in front. He should move out the way, and then he will continue the lap for the final time. His teammate is just up in front, but I don't think they've timed the slipstream just not well enough. That is going to be qualifying for Robbo, and we will miss out as he goes P6. It's not going to be qualifying, it's just going to be that lap sorted. We've got a couple of yellow flags, 7 minutes to go on the clock, and Robbo's teammate sitting in P1. I believe that was Gilly, as JJ is in the pit lane, so Gilly's looking to try and improve as well. But we will stay on board with the current pole sitter. He seems to have the pace. He's had the pace all season. Mikash has just proved me wrong. A 27.7 on the board. Dave Raptors looking like he's improving a nice amount, but not really that much. So he's definitely struggling to find enough pace to get in front of Mikash. Good Mikash look at his first win in the F1.5 championship, of course. He won in Las Vegas in the summer season, but that's not quite an official championship. A lot more drivers on the grid, a lot more at stake, it's a lot more competitive, and this is what is good to see for a driver perspective. If you do get a win, it's very rewarding. He's got the AlphaTauri up front, going to get a tiny slipstream there. That is going to help him. He's now up by 2/10, a massive improvement in the middle sector. The final sector, what can he get done? Very tricky on the rear as soon as you get onto the brakes into the chicane, but he manages it nicely. Final corner once again, keeping it far right, and that is provisional pole position, maintaining his advantage, maybe losing a tiny bit there in the final sector, but it doesn't matter. He is purple. Gilly beats Mikash as well, so he is on fire right now. 0.699 almost to the sevens. He's done a very good job. Could this be a circuit? He DNF'd on lap 1, got to turn 3 last season at Japan, so hopefully this can go a little bit better. It's looking like it is on the up for now. Tom Brainer had some pretty bad luck this season so far, so he's looking to try and break the curse. The safety car has pretty much been very cruel to him. He had some struggles in Singapore as well, so this time around we should hopefully see him get back up there. He has pace in the car. He can do well. It's just not worked out so far. Monk is on their way. Lots of people with pace. They're looking to do their best job possible. JJ not setting a lap time yet. He's got 5 minutes to go, so basically he's going to have 1 lap in this session. As you can see, the laps are almost 1.5 minutes, so that does make it a little bit difficult to actually get something done into the final chicane now for Tom Brainer. Let's see what he can do as he gets up the final corner, not getting the traction down, and that was such a close call. That's what I was talking about earlier on. He would have improved if he didn't make that mistake. That is a heck of a shame. He can still go again. He has just about enough time, I'd say, to go into the pit lane and come back out, but he is going to have to push the absolute limit, otherwise he will not have the time. Stating the obvious there. Alright, we could have a look at the Williams for the next lap before we get to the very final minutes of qualifying. At the final corner, racing under the Thai flag, but in the Canada region or country. Into turn 1. Let's see how it goes. Absolutely send it. Can he get to the limit on the exit? Not taking the outside curve, but pretty tidy through the second one, so well done to him. Down to 5th as he used the engine braking. Back up the gears. No, he's going to stay down a little bit and holding 5th gear to just make sure that you control that pace, and then be very careful on the exit. You want to open up the throttle and the steering, but it's just so easy to understeer. Through the Degner, riding the curve nicely. Doesn't get to the outside curve, which is pretty decent to be fair. It's not that easy to do. And into the hairpin. That is literally what it is called. Not taking an early apex like I usually do and make a massive mistake, so he's taken that pretty well actually. And then you just follow the circuit round to the right here, which is very difficult to do when you're racing side by side, as we saw yesterday. The contour of the track can get in the way and make it very difficult. Nice and tidy through Spoon. And we'll go down the back straight, and then we will get a delta time to see where they are. Improvement-wise, they're going to need quite a few tenths if they want to go for pole. Almost 3 tenths improvement. They're not that far off it, to be honest. Can they get the final 10th in the final chicane? A little bit under the limit on the entry as they don't. Cut the corner on the exit. A big snap of oversteer. DRS available, and across the line, that is going to be a 2/10 improvement. Not enough for pole position, but that is a pretty decent job, and I don't think they're going to be able to go again. That will be Monk's day finished for the time being, but he can still get a decent result in the race. He's just got to hope no one else pushes him down. Grajak, he's on his way. The other Williams showing a lot of pace this season, doing a very good job. That is Flexard finishing his final lap, as he will be P5 for the race. Not too bad for now, But once again, like Monk, he is just trying his best to hold on and hope that no one else pushes him down. The McLarens leaving it very, very late to get out of the pit lane there. There's going to be a lot of traffic. Gunter is going to be the next one to set a lap because the other two, they're finished. Everybody else are either in the pit lane or on an out lap. And in fact, the only driver to be in the pit lane as of now is Max. I don't think he's going out. Is he moving? He is moving. He is on his way out the pit lane, but he's not really going to have enough time. As you see 128 as he does go down the pit lane. That is going to be so tight. He's just going to have to probably give up on that one. I don't think. You can't cut any corners, and if you did, you get yourself a penalty anyway. So that is how that goes. As you see Gunter riding the exit curve. He's actually given up on this lap, and he's going to go for one final attempt very, very soon. We'll go and watch on board with Grosjean now and see what this man can do. I believe this is the next driver to set a lap. Actually, Ballin is going to be the next one to set a lap. Hopefully we can see him do a good job on return. That would be awesome and nostalgic to see. The other Williams, as we just saw earlier on, they're in P3. Can Grosjean fight for pole position? He's been so close up there, and hopefully this time he is able to get the setup on the car and be good to run. Into Spoon. Lovely jubbly. Sorry for the delay. We'll get there for the chicane though. Okay, Grosjean, final sector to go. What can he do? We go into the chicane. Will we exit it and still get a good run down to the line? Looks pretty tidy on the throttle. Be careful. Bring it to the right. Minimize track distance. DRS. And that is going to be a P6. He's only able to improve by a tenth, but it's not going to be enough to go any further than that. What a shame. What an effort. He gave it his best shot. Flexard, he's still going again. He's trying his best to improve a little bit more if he really can squeeze it out of the car. Ballin, is that Ballin or is that Max crossing the line? Max did get across the line in time to set one more lap. That's absolutely incredible. Well done to him for getting that one in. We will go on board with, is that the Ferrari of Gilly? He's been so close, but no, he invalidates in the final corner into the pit lane. We won't see what the lap time would have been. That is such a tragic moment there. Dave Raptors, can he hold on to the pole position? This should be how you get the job done. He's been so quick throughout the entirety of the season. JJ hasn't been able to set a lap. That is a heck of a shame. He's been leading the Grand Prix in the past at one point. Now Mikash takes away pole position. It's a good exit there for Dave Raptors. A slight mistake, a slight correction. Will it be enough? It is going to be enough to take pole position, and that should be qualifying. Oggio might have a go out the final corner. He's invalidated. That will be it for him. Tom Brainerd demotes him down. Gunther, he's the final one to cross the line, but I do think that should be Dave Raptors on to the top step of the qualifying podium. That is Gunther into the pit lane. And he's done it again, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Raptors continues his form. McLaren continue their form. That is awesome to see from these guys. And that should be a very good setup for the race. Mikash sits in P2. He's had a decent qualifying. He's been so close to Dave Raptors, but unfortunately, he is in a McLaren sandwich. Those guys are going to be communicating, so it will be so difficult for him to actually fight that. That is qualifying finished. Dave Raptors takes pole position. Mikash in P2 and Robbo in P3. We'll go through the rest of the qualifiers, and then we'll go for the race director just in case if we need to a little bit later on. Lovely stuff indeed. Pit stop section as well, just in case. Look at that qualifying between the top two. Lovely jubbly. And it is a second between the top 11. All right, we'll be back for the race. We'll see you in a bit. Ready, hold, go! Who's going to get it into turn one? We are finally away. There you go, just about. There's a couple of issues. This time, we do not get a safety car right off the line. Mikash looking to take the lead into turn one. It's so close, but Dave Raptors holds on. Absolutely perfect from him. That is a yellow flag across the board, and that is Flexard going off the circuit as he tries to return the positions. Oh, cars all the way off. That is Flexard Brown, unfortunately, as he joins the lobby finally, and that's not going to go well. Mikash goes off the circuit. Might have been involved in that, unfortunately. Absolutely tragic right there for him. The two Alpines so close together. Now on the exit, not able to maintain an advantage over Jack. Jack is going to try and have an advantage over the Mercedes, but no, not going to have a go at making the move. It's side by side, just up in front between his teammate, Waldo's teammate Gunther, followed by Tom Brainer. He's finally in a battle rather than being crashed out as before. He wasn't able to get in front, but this time he's good and sending it to the inside. Is Ogyo there? Grosjean making a mistake, but he had to back out. Did the Red Bull driver. Otherwise, that would have been absolutely tragic. I don't know what's going on with the safety car, but it seems as if that is Flexard not being able to get the car turned around. So, yeah, not entirely sure what's going on there, but that's how that one has gone for him. Don't believe his luck. Dave Raptors leads the way after the first lap. I'm going to have a quick look. JJ is in the lobby. That's good to see. Balance had some sort of an issue, and Flexard is out of this Grand Prix. We'll have to look at their issues later on. Such a shame to see them out and struggle once again. Now, the top two, Dave Raptors and Robbo, after having an issue. Mikash is not going to be in the battle for the lead, at least for the time being. Lots of battles, however, are going on throughout the grid. Gunter, he is very, very, very much under pressure. Under pressure is Grosjean, as that is going to be a tragic moment there for him. He slots in behind the Alpine, but he drops down massively. And after such a promising run in pace, it's not going to go too well. Just making that slight mistake and sending it to the inside of the Mercedes on the exit. There's a slight tap. There's a lot of oversteer. There's a lot of understeer, as it's very, very, very difficult through the right-hander, as I said before, and it's going to be so difficult that Waldo is going to be out of this Grand Prix. That is going to be Mikash with front wing damage, and that is going to be a virtual safety car. Interesting. Don't know why that's a virtual safety car. That's very weird. Anyway, as I was saying, it's very difficult to go through the right-hander as the circuit follows to the right, and it's very easy to misinterpret what the other cars are intending on doing, whether you're on the left or the right-hand side. But that is how that's going to go, and Mikash will take it to the pit lane to get a new front wing on that car and hopefully be back into this race later on. He will be able to go to the hards, and he could get a significant undercut, so this might work out for him, but we'll see. Alrighty. Waiting for the safety car restart. The closest cars look like these guys, as we saw earlier on. So we will find out how this battle goes very, very shortly. We've got a big bunch of cars. Monk gets a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. He tried to catch up to the McLarens and get the advantage, but he unfortunately timed it too much over the limit, and that is going to be him all of a sudden losing the podium positions. It can definitely change, but it's not looking good. Max up in P4. That's absolutely phenomenal from him. Gilly, when was he disconnected from this race? That must explain why it's down to P12 early on in this Grand Prix. He's still in the battle though, and that is Mr. Grosjean losing connection. So lots of things are going wrong. Lots of people losing connection. Can they get back in? If there are any more disconnects, then we might have to try and look at a restart, but unfortunately for now, that is going to be how that one goes. The grid is looking very, very interesting, but it's kind of being plagued by all of these issues. That is a pit stop for Mike as he goes to serve the drive-through penalty immediately. He's going to try his best to get back on top of this later on. We will find out if he can do so. Of course, we have Gilly, who's pretty close to the back of Jaromir. Are they going to try and have a look for a move in a little while? That might happen. That is Grosjean joining the lobby after a very, very moment issue of losing out. He drops behind Tom Brainer. He's still in the battle, as I said many, many times for many drivers. Gilly, does he have damage? Because in a lot of understeer through that part of the circuit, Jaromir able to escape there. So very well done there for Jaromir. Maybe it's a setup difference. Maybe Gilly is using a very low downforce setup. I am curious and I am wanting to stay on board until that happens. That being said, he did gain a significant amount there to Jaromir. So did a pretty good job in those few corners. Well done indeed to him. Very interesting that the overlay seems to drop down, but I don't know. We carry on. Alrighty, ERS being used by Gilly. He is looking for the move. Does he have the straight line speed advantage? Not really as much as I thought, so maybe he is on a more standard strategy. On the exit of 130R, here we go. On the entry, what can he do? Sending it late on the brakes. Jaromir was not able to compete. Maybe it's a bit too late for Gilly though on the switchback maneuver. Jaromir, absolutely incredible. Well done indeed. That is the move. Regain, and Gilly finds himself back in square one. Sorry for the delay. Lots of disconnections. And that is how it's going for now. Dave Raptors leads the way by 3 seconds on that soft tyre. He saw what was going on yesterday. Robbo's gone for the split strategy to try and make sure that both drivers have a chance at least of being in this race. And yeah, Robbo is still holding on nicely in front of the other soft tyre runners with a big wall to the other medium tyre runners. So that could be a pretty nice advantage. He could go for a bit of an overcut, whereas the other guys are going to go for the undercut. And an overcut can work pretty nicely if there are safety cars involved. Okay, so that incident with Flexard and Mikash was not really Flexard's fault, as it was the AI, I believe, that decided to go off the circuit. It's a heck of a shame. I don't really understand what's happened to Flexard. But I'm going to try my best to look into it after the race and see if there are any possible, not fixes, but solutions to try and prevent this from happening again. Other than that, it might just be a stability issue via the game to their PC. Anyway, we continue and we will have to look at that later on. These two are closing in slightly on the gap. That's not ideal for Dave Raptors, but it's how it's going for the time being. There's a big gap between Tom Brain and Oggio Gunther right behind Jack Lever. They are doing a good job right there holding on. But the closest battle, I want to say, are these guys. As you can see, of course, Oggio right there. Grosjean disconnecting twice. He's dropped behind the Red Bull driver. And of course, he is dropping a lot of time after that. And hopefully he can get back in the rhythm. But his AI would have used probably a little bit of ERS and probably spun the tyres up on the rear actually as well. So giving him some extra unnecessary tyre wear. That is Tom Brainer making the move on Oggio. No, it's Oggio making the move on Tom Brainer. On the exit, he's trying to get the traction down. He's trying to have the straight line speed. They go past the trees, and he is finally in front. Will Tom Brainer try and come back at him, though? It's a very good question indeed. They're both on the medium tyre. He's using the energy. He wants to have another go. He wants to gain the position back. He's not going to go for it before 130R. He's going to lift so much that he ruins his run. I think he's going to wait for DRS and maybe just sit behind Oggio anyway. I think he's just trying to drive smart rather than aggressive. And if you want to do well in the Grand Prix, that is the best way to go about things. He will get DRS here, but Oggio deciding to use a bit of energy to make sure that he creates a gap and make sure he is safe. Look at the DRS. That's pretty powerful there for Tom Brainer. Very good job indeed. But the question is, can he hold on in the high downforce part of the circuit of Sector 1 and Sector 2? Couple gaps forming now as we get a bit further into the race, just over 20 laps of the Grand Prix remaining, and the pit stops will be on their way at some point. I think we saw the soft tyres pitting around lap 10 to 12 yesterday, and of course otherwise the mediums and the hards should be doing a pretty similar distance to each other, offset from the soft tyres, so that will be about 17 laps for a set of mediums or hards, maybe 16. I'm not entirely sure if my calculations are actually correct there. But anyway, we will move on from that conversation. 1.8 seconds, Robbo is gaining massively on that hard tyre, and I am surprised that the soft tyre is really dropping that much this early on. But hey ho, it's what happens. Well, we see Grosjean try and attempt a move here on the Haas. We know he has had pace. There's a bit of lag, unfortunately, as he's disconnected a couple times. And now we see the DRS, we see the ERS. He's trying his best to have a go already. Is he going to get enough speed, though? Well, I think that's maybe a bit of a waste on the energy. He has a look to the inside, spooks Brainer a little bit as he goes fairly wide. But he stays in it just about. And yeah, what I wanted to say is Grosjean may be using too much energy, was too far away, should have recognised that a bit sooner, but now he's depleted his battery pretty significantly, and it's going to be nowhere near enough for that move on the Haas driver. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer. He can still get it done, but the resources available are just significantly less. Would he try and go for the send on the inside? It would be so risky. The harder you have to apply the brakes, the easier it is to lock the rears, and then you will put yourself in a pretty big incident if you're not careful. These two are the fastest cars on the circuit at the moment. I just want to have a quick look at something. I do apologise for the delay. We are good to go. Finally, there you go. Lovely jubbly indeed. Now, looking for the movers. Grosjean darts to the outside, right-hand side. Interestingly, going as far as he possibly could to the inside. Sending it on the brakes there as Tom Brainer. Is that really going to work on the exit? It worked pretty well, to be honest, but you're never going to try and go for a move here. In the S section, it just won't work for you. You'll just lose so much time. Now, can Grosjean catch up to Oggio? Might be possible. He's not too far away, to be honest. 1.1 seconds, almost within DRS range, and that would be phenomenal for him to see. Dave Raptors now using the final bit left of these soft tyres, maybe using a bit of energy to try and maximise the gap as he goes into the pit lane. That is very possible for him right now, unless he is just literally picking up the pace regardless. He's just found a bit of a rhythm, or Robbo made a mistake, not entirely sure. But that's how it goes for the moment. The closest battle will be Oggio very shortly. Actually, I say that. We have Jack Lever and Gunther very close to one another. They're doing a very good job as Gunther. Previously having some struggles, but this time had a somewhat clean start and was able to get right up there, and now he's in a good position. He's able to just relax, keep consistent during the race. Middle of the race now. And yeah, this is looking pretty good. DRS, ERS available. He is going to try and go for the move onto the inside line, and then he will take the racing line and secure that position. Will Jack Lever try and come back at him? I think he probably will. And it's good to see that these guys aren't fighting each other hard, because it prevents some unnecessary time loss to the medium tyre runners that they really don't want to see, because otherwise they ruin their soft tyre stint at the moment. They try to go aggressive on these soft tyres. It worked out perfectly for them, and they better not throw that away, otherwise they're just gonna... It's just going to be pointless. I'm going to say it again and again and again if I'm not careful, so I will stop that little conversation once again right there. We're going to quickly go and have a look at Monk at the moment, because he isn't too far away from Ballant. as he's on that soft tyre trying to make it work, but it's not really going to be that easy. I think very, very soon it's probably going to drop away a little bit, and it would make it pretty difficult for him to hold on. You can see those tyres really are struggling at the moment. Balin has the advantage, and I think once he gets past lap 10, lap 11, he's just going to be infinitely quicker. DRS will probably drop out, or before that, Monk's probably going to decide to go into the pit lane. As soon as he gets close to the 9/10 region and risk losing DRS, I think he probably would just go into the pits. It's very, very close to pit lane territory, as we do see Jack Lever going into the pit lane, so he's going to try and undercut Gunther. That could work pretty nicely. Pits on lap 10. Balin out of the chicane. Will Monk go into the pit lane? No, he doesn't. He stays nicely within DRS. It's going to be possible for him to catch up as well, but I think that's probably going to be the last of the pace advantage, and he will probably have to take it into the pit lane. Look at the loss of positions from Jack Lever. I don't know if he had an issue or if the cars are just closer than we thought. They aren't that spread out, to be honest. A couple drivers are having issues. I say that, JJ is the only one that's that far away and not already making a pit stop. So Jack Lever, he's down to 14th right now, but it doesn't show you the story. You have to look at that M0 part of the screen just to the right of his name, and then you will be able to understand the situation. And I think he's going to cause a lot of people to react and go into the pit lane, because people like this, Dave Raptors, he's not going to want to hold on. That being said, he's got a 5-second gap to the other car that is not his teammate. Would he still go into the pit lane? No. He's still going to go into the pit lane despite Robbo not having DRS. Robbo continues, and we can see him probably continue to about lap 16, 17, maybe 18 if he really wanted to do that, but I think he would just be significantly hurting his chances of continuing, because as we said, the hard tyres should be able to go just as long as the medium tyres around this circuit. We'll find out where Dave Raptors is going to come out. I think he's going to come out just in front of Jaromir. That should be pretty straightforward. I was going to say just behind, but just a little bit too far as Jaromir. The hard tyre is not going to make it that easy for him to catch up, even though Dave Raptors is on that colder medium tyre. You can see the gap difference that caused Jack Lever and Dave Raptors to be in such different positions after the pit stops, and that is actually pretty incredible to see. You've got Monk, who did go into the pit lane as well. They're just going to come out, and we've got a 3-second, the first track limit penalty of the Grand Prix. Gunther, he made that pit stop 1 lap later, interestingly taking the decision to go onto the hard tyre. If he can hold on to DRS range, he might actually be able to make this work later on in the Grand Prix. Not going to be so straightforward, but it's not impossible. We do have Balin on that medium tyre. He is going to be causing Jack Lever to slow down a little bit. I think Jack should be able to make a pretty easy pass very, very soon. And he will have the car immediately in front of him as Max is right there. And looking on the exit, can he get the job done? He had a quick look. Caused Balin to make a bit of a mistake as he reacted. He's not going to be able to compete with him in a straight line though. Used way too much energy, and that does allow Gunther to catch up, and he will be within DRS range into the braking zone. He's going to look for the switchback as he is going to send Balin to the shops on the exit, get the traction down, and that should be pretty easy. Balin goes into the pit lane anyway, and that is an absolute tragedy. What on earth happened there? What on earth happened there? Safety car is deployed. AlphaTauri will not be scoring any points. And that was very, very, very strange indeed. Saw them in the background, just going to switch over to them to watch the battle. And it was game over. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. That was Very, very strange. And we will look at what we can do later on. But yeah, that was a weird one. That was Josh, Max, and Mikash all fighting together. And the battle ends prematurely, unfortunately. That's how that one goes. Such a shame there for Dave Raptors, because he's all of a sudden lost a significant amount. Pretty much such a shame for everyone. Gilly's loving life at the moment, Ogyo's loving life, and Grajak even more so is loving life. Robbo maintains his position. He was only in P2 before Dave Raptors, of course, pitted. I think Dave Raptors, as we see, he will go up to P2 anyway, so he doesn't lose too much, but it was a bit of a risk there. Grajak is going to go into the pit lane to try and put the medium tyre on, I assume, so that should be pretty nice. No, he's going to go and put the hard tyre on, so he's banking on an advantage being good enough. He's still in this race after disconnecting a couple times, so he's done a very good job right there. Oh, okay, that's the weirdest thing I've seen in F1 ever. Sorry? In the pit lane, apparently. So he's making his way back to the pit lane as the AI, as that's where they're supposed to be according to this. Man. Okay guys, sorry for the issues. We are going to... Unfortunately, we're going to have to continue. And I think we're going to have to look at our situation after the race. And I hate to say it, this is the worst possible thing to happen. But we might have to consider this not being a championship race. That being said, it's still all to play for, and we have not confirmed that at all, so everybody should be racing at full pace as usual. But as I said, it's a possibility. We never want that to be the case, but we will see. JJ, interestingly, into the pit lane once again, looking for fresher tyres, I guess. So he's going to be good to go. He will have the best advantage. Interestingly, Ogyo's decided to go onto the soft, so he's banking on being able to make a gap, make progress, and then continue. I don't know if maybe he didn't have enough soft tyres for this race. Sorry, medium tyres to go back onto a fresh set of mediums, but yeah, that's weird. I guess he did pit on a somewhat normal strategy, but he also pitted earlier on after getting damaged. Did he get damaged, or am I thinking of someone else maybe? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. Alright, I do apologise for the issues. Yep, that's fine, Grizak. I'll make sure we're back for it right now. That should be everything. Yep, we're in it. Lovely. Okay, waiting for the safety car to come in. There you go. Get the confirmation. and we will be going racing yet again for the Japanese Grand Prix. The top two will be the ones to react. This time they're on pretty much the same strategy. Dave Raptor's a little bit worse for wear compared to his teammate. They will be reacting to each other, they will be communicating, and they should get the best restart possible. Once they're both in a straight line, I think they'll be prepared to get the traction down, give themselves a countdown, and they will go for it. I'm going to watch on board with Max, who's getting way too close on the restart, and the two McLarens react and get away very nicely, and that is going to be Jack Lever going for the move immediately. Absolutely caught sleeping, caught napping. Onto the inside goes the Mercedes, but he backs out, not willing to fight that one. The Mercedes is in a good position for now on the hard tyre, the lead hard tyre runner. We'll see how that one goes, but I'm interested to see this guy right here, Oggio, on the soft tyres. Will he try and get a move on the exit towards Dunlop? No way. Maybe on the Degner, he will get the grip, he'll get the overspeed. It's just not going to happen for now. He really tried to put his nose in and threaten the Mercedes driver, but he's never going to have a go there. On the exit, he should be able to get himself somewhat alongside into the hairpin, and he will have a look to the inside on the traction, on the brakes with the grip, on the tyres, and that should be a very, very nice move. Awesome job there. The Mercedes, they're not going to fight back for now. They are going to fight back on the energy a little bit to make sure that they don't lose too much, but they really have to consider who they do fight, because they don't want to lose much time at all. They have to make sure that they minimize any damage that they may receive. The top three, Robbo, Dave Raptors, and Jack Lever. Robbo right behind his teammate. These guys are leading quite nicely. They can't afford to fight each other though. They can't afford to fight each other. He decides not to go for the move, but Dave Raptors still goes defensive. I don't know what that's about, because they're just going to cause an unnecessary threat from the Alpine driver, who is going to possibly push for the move. No, he's going to back off for now and stay behind Oggio to P4 as he makes the move on Max. So close. The Mercedes wants to have another go on the Alpine, but Aston, but they can't get the job done yet again. And now the Mercedes is going to be in trouble, because he's got Gilly and Tom Brainer, who are on the equal tyres as Gunther, so that is not going to be ideal. Yarmir on the medium tyre, splitting Ballant, who's the next hard tyre runner. Everybody very close to one another, staying in the train after the second, or during the second lap after the restart. Big mistake there for the Haas driver. Yarmir's going to spot that, spot a weakness, going to try and look for the move, maybe on the brakes on the inside. He has the tyre advantage, but decides not to go for it. Maybe going to try and get something on the traction in a little bit, but no, he'll stay behind for now. He's good to go. Monk and Ballant switching positions. Ballant going to lose out to JJ possibly as well. Will JJ transcend it? Not going to work. Maybe on the second apex he is going to send it. That's absolutely incredible. Can he get the job done? He can. Tucks into the slipstream of the Williams, and wow. Luckily, Ballant reacted, but that could have gone horribly wrong. That is Oggio making the move on the Alpine. The Alpine drops a little bit. Oggio doing everything that he needs to do on this soft tyre. He has to get within DRS range though, otherwise it's not going to work out. He gets the fastest lap. He might be able to secure that as the fastest lap, unless someone pits later on in the Grand Prix, but that is a good job. He, like I said, he's doing what he needs to do. It's not going to be easy to catch up to the McLaren drivers. They're going to be making sure that they work together to prevent the soft tyre runner from getting anywhere near, at least overtaking, if not in the DRS zone. So it's not going to be straightforward. They're going to be working together to defend, of course. And yeah, Oggio should have a pretty good chance at looking for a move, but he really needs to make use of these corners, otherwise it's never going to go to plan. Yarmir looks to the move on Tom Brainer. Tom Brainer makes a mistake and then gets tapped by Monk, and he goes round off the circuit momentarily, going to lose 2 more positions as well. Absolutely tragic, and he's out of the points. Everybody is fighting for position. There's no higher tier drivers, so that is out of the points. JJ promoted up the order. That's great news for him. He's on the medium tyres. He had pace earlier on. Can he get the job done on the other Williams though? We'll see. Other Williams, the Williams. on the grid, as Monk is the only one left for now. Using energy to try and stay in front of JJ. JJ not using any energy though, so he's in a decent position. Oggio, will he try and go for the move on already on the McLarens, or is he going to sit behind and hope that he can just get a little bit closer before he gets to the next few laps? I don't know. Defensive is Dave Robbo, sorry. That's Robbo going defensive yet again. I'm really confused at why that's happening, because look at that. All of a sudden, Oggio's caught up significantly, and he might have a go on this lap, believe it or not. I don't know if the advantage would be able to maintain itself. He's trying his best to maintain the best gap and extends the best gap to the cars behind. By the time the tyres drop off, it's going to be about 3-4 laps left until he loses out a significant amount of pace to the other drivers. We will find out if that does matter a little bit later on. Very close further behind. JJ has a look. That's Gilly having a look actually on Gunter. The other hard tyre runner doesn't find the ability to get any closer than that though, so he will just continue to sit behind for now. We'll go and look at the top three very, very shortly. I just want to see how close these guys are before we go back to them a little bit later on. Oggio using the energy. He wants to have a go already. Is he going to be able to get one of them into the chicane and then one of them down the main straight, or maybe both of them down the main straight? They are very close. They're bunching each other up a little bit, of course, as you have to try your best in the train. It's never going to work too well on the exit. Will Oggio have the grip? He will have the grip. DRS, ERS, he's got to use everything now if he wants to give it a shot. DRS available, of course, for Dave Raptors, so the advantage is pretty much cancelled out there for Oggio. Going off the circuit is the McLaren. Dave Raptors tried his best to go for a move on Robbo. Robbo went defensive yet again. I really can't understand why. And look what's happened. Dave Raptors goes off the circuit and loses out. Oggio now is going to be right behind, and he's going to look at a pretty straightforward DRS move on the McLaren. And although, like I said, he's not going to have the advantage, he is still going to be able to cause a bit of an upset, and if you make an overtake, there's an increased risk for an incident, and if there is something to happen like that, he might be in a chance for getting a very decent result, if not a win right here. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I do not believe it. The top two, they really do want to fight for the championship between each other, but I didn't think they'd fight in this way and cause each other to lose out that much. Top three, staying as they are. Nikash has a very, very, very straightforward opportunity here. As long as he can get the traction down on a quick look at these guys, just a moment. As you can see, it's going to be a pretty nice opportunity. Gunter to the inside. He's not going to try and break that late, but he makes a very tight entry to the corner on the exit. That is going to be Jaromir going to the outside, but there's more contact. Jaromir manages to keep the car in a straight line. That is Oggio not making a move, so we will continue with these guys. JJ goes for the move. Gilly is actually behind JJ after all of that. I don't understand what just happened. And once again, Gunter trying to have a look on the Aston Martin, but they will not be able to do it. So you saw one of the cars on the inside. They tried their best to leave space, and then I say that on the outside tried their best to leave space, and then on the inside they just had a way too tight angle, made contact in mid-chicane, and then it just caused an upset for the entire grid. The other guys trying to get a good exit, and it was all a bit tricky. And talking about tricky, that is the Mercedes losing the rear and promoting Jaromir and Gilly, and that is going to allow Jaromir to try and catch up a bit of clean air between Max, but he's 9 tenths, 8 tenths. He does need to push pretty hard to make sure that he does catch up. Otherwise, it's not going to be possible. We will go on board with these guys. I think Oggio's kind of sitting in the middle and thinking, you know what? I'm just going to try and maintain this position. I don't know if he's actually considering going for the move. He gave it a shot last lap, I believe, but using the energy was Robbo to maintain that position. He's got a decent amount of it anyway as well, so maybe he's already recognised that and decided, you know what, I'm not actually going to go for a move, or if I do go for the move, it's only going to be because the other car has made a mistake. Very intimidating position for Oggio to be in at the moment. as you've got two orange cars surrounding you. But it should be a nice opportunity for a good result regardless. I think a podium would be good for him to see. Jack Lever, 5.4 seconds. He's on his own at the moment. JJ's got pace in that car, and he's got a tyre advantage by quite a significant margin as well. So he can come back a little bit later, look for that P4, some epic points. Gilly has somehow ended up on top of this battle, which I'm really confused about. I think, was he with Jaromir just a moment ago? I think he was even behind Jaromir just a moment ago. So he's made two positions very, very quickly, unless I'm wrong, but he's right behind his teammate on the hard tyre. He's only going to get quicker from this point onwards. JJ, of course, as I said, he's still got a significant advantage, so Gilly could possibly get JJ to drag him with him, and then they can both get a move on the Alpine, and if they can do that, they can secure some epic points for the Ferrari team and bump their way up the championship order. That would be the ideal situation for those guys to be in. Oggio so close. He might have a go here. Making a mistake. It's Robbo. Oh no! No, no, no. He's out of the race. I do not believe it. Contact with the pit lane entry. And that is going to be Oggio into the lead of the Grand Prix. Somehow there is not a safety car after a crash on the pit lane entry. I do not understand what happened. He's furious. He's out of the session already. Wow. Okay. All of a sudden, JJ is now fighting for the podium, and this is exactly what he's been looking for all season. He's been so close up there previously. He now gets the opportunity yet again. Absolutely epic. This is going to be very interesting. Can he cope with the pressure? He pushes hard. He catches up to the Alpine, and Gilly, you can see the gap breaks away a little bit. That's not because Gilly's made mistakes. That's just because JJ has found the rhythm, and he knows what he needs to do to get that podium. He knows what's at stake. Dave Raptors, on the other hand, I don't know what's going to happen here. He should still have the advantage, but if Oggio can defend from the McLaren right here, you could definitely keep Dave Raptors behind for long enough to prevent him from actually making the move until the last few laps and then get it back on the DRS. It would be so difficult to get done, but it's not impossible. He has got pretty much all of the odds against him. He might be able to come back in a little bit, but we'll see. That is going to be very, very interesting indeed. We'll have to find it out later on. I doubt he would go for the move, Dave Raptors. He's got every advantage, so it would just be stupid, but it's not going to be stupid as he is still going to send it, and that's going to be Oggio making a mistake. No, 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 no. How did that happen? He's going to lose out. Jack Lever's going to be on his way. The hot tyres, the warm tyres, the soft tyres are not going to be any use anymore, and Jack Lever's going to be looking for the P2. JJ is going to be looking for the podium regardless, as long as he gets past the Red Bull driver. Everything is switching up. Dave Raptors, he's got the advantage. He can relax and secure yet another win this season, extending his championship lead. Is it going to happen though? Time will tell. There's a couple laps to go and anything can happen. Regarding what has happened, the race leaders just don't want to seem to lead the race. There's contact. Oggio struggling with the tyres, braking a little bit early maybe. JJ's going to be right there. All of a sudden so close. Maybe going to look at the double move. He's got a decent amount of energy compared to these guys, so he could actually get it. I was just kind of saying that to try and make things more exciting, but yes, he could definitely have a go at getting a double move. Will it be possible? ERS is not going to be used by him. He can see the cars ahead. They are flashing on the ERS, and that'll be such a psychological advantage. He's able to kind of relax a little bit. And Mikash, although they're not flashing, they are still low, of course. Not Mikash, Oggio, sorry. Oggio, he is just going to lose out massively as we progress. He's not got too long to go. The DRS, though, is so powerful. JJ is going to have to make sure that he gets the move done sooner rather than later. He is going to have a look to the inside, just sending it a little bit too hard. Is Oggio, I was going to say JJ, but no, Oggio trying his best to brake as late as he could to prevent JJ from going for a move, and he just can't keep the traction mid-corner, losing a lot of time on the understeer. He might have a look at trying to maintain DRS. Gilly, he's got an advantage here. He could have a go at getting that P4. It should be pretty straightforward, but with the DRS being available for Ogyo, he might actually be able to hold on. I think he's going to have to pretty much scratch the idea of him actually catching up though. Gunther, unfortunately, making a mistake. Ogyo, you can see the traction on those tyres. They are completely gone. Couldn't get the car stopped, and Gilly all of a sudden, no work really needed to be done there. He is within DRS range, and he's right in the train. Ogyo hasn't lost enough time to actually lose out DRS, but he's lost enough time to put Gilly in contention. Jack Lever all of a sudden getting a time penalty, and now it's looking very possible, I'm going to say it, for a Ferrari double podium. JJ has the advantage. He is controlling the situation at the moment. Ogyo, of course, he just needs to do his best to stay within DRS and have minimal time loss, locking the rears to get the rotation. Got to be careful though that you don't do that too much, because those tyres are going to be so unpredictable. Lap 26 out of 27, 2 laps remaining of this Grand Prix. Gilly's got to find a bit of aggression. He's not got any energy. He could find a little bit of trouble from the cars behind. No energy from Max. Jaromir, he's got energy in that car. He tried to have a look on the Aston, but the Aston just a little bit laggy, which makes it incredibly difficult for him to actually pass. He needs to try and get it done on the straight if he can. He has a couple more chances to get that done, and I think he's really got to just try and blast that energy, otherwise he will have no chance at getting involved in the battle up in front. We have Ogyo losing out now. This is going to be Gilly's perfect opportunity. Gilly has to make sure that he does make that move, and he's got to try and make it as straightforward as possible, because then he can pretty much secure that double podium. If he fights him too hard, then it's not going to be that straightforward, and so far he is hoping that Ogyo just maintains DRS range and he can maintain the gap between himself and the Alpine. If Ogyo all of a sudden decides to go defensive, then that is very, very bad news there for Gilly. Alrighty, we will see. How is this one gonna go? Is JJ gonna make the move this time around? Is he gonna try and go for it here? He's got every advantage. As I have said, he's got the tyre advantage, he's got the energy advantage, he's got the DRS advantage and the slipstream advantage. There is literally no question of him making this move. Jaromir down the order. ERS going to be used for JJ. Makes a bit of a mistake on the exit as he wasn't able to get the traction down to the inside line. He will go. Very good job. That should be move done. Can he secure it? Back to the inside goes the Alpine. He's got the job done on the exit. JJ's trying to have a look to the inside. There's minimal space left. Very, very aggressive driving. Definitely aggressive driving. Regarding he's got a time penalty, I'm not really entirely sure what his thought process is right here, and that is actually going to make it incredibly difficult for Gilly to get to that top double podium. Ogyo all of a sudden finds himself in a perfect opportunity to actually maintain that position, if not go for the double move. If the Alpine is fighting this hard, it's going to be very, very difficult for him to actually have the advantage. JJ making an absolutely epic move here in the hairpin on the exit. It's going to be very close. They've got to be so careful that they don't demon drag. I don't really understand the Alpine here. They're doing some very interesting things. He's fighting with everything he can, and he's going to push JJ as wide as possible. Ogyo to the inside. Ogyo looking for the podium. Gilly could come out on top here. It's all to play for as we go down the final straight. JJ running out of energy. Gilly boxed in. Can't make progress. He has to back off for 130R. Will JJ send it? I don't think he will. Ogyo to the outside line. Surely he will not be able to brake late enough. Gilly's going to make the move after all, and it will be a double podium for Ferrari. No, it will not. JJ, what has happened? Dave Raptors wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Perfect job from him. Ogyo in P2. I don't understand what happened to JJ. Gilly gets the podium. podium. Jaromir P4 after that one. After such a struggle, he got past Max. Max P5, Jack Lever down to P6 after that penalty. I reckon if he didn't fight those positions, he would have actually probably finished around P4 possibly. Maybe P5 if JJ didn't have that spin. JJ to P7, still scoring points, but he's going to be furious. Tom Brainer, Josh, Gunther, Monk out the points, and Ballant will finish last. But it's good to see him back, and can he make progress later on in the season? We'll see. Dave Raptors is the man of the race. Wow. I'm sorry guys, my voice kind of peaked and it couldn't go any more up and down. That was incredible. Everything happened. It was such a crazy race. I don't know what to say. I am speechless. I am speechless. Dave Raptors wins. We'll get the results very, very shortly. There you go. Waving the flag very proudly. Alrighty, here we go. Dave Raptors takes the win. Ogyo and P2. Gilly, Jaromir, Max, Jack Cleaver, JJ, Tom Brainer, Josh, Gunther, Monk, and Ballant. DNFing was Robbo, Grajak, followed by, of course, Mikash, Waldu, and Flexard. 2 disqualifications classed as DNFs by the game, interestingly. Fastest lap did go to Ogyo in the end after he went for that fastest lap. He did maintain it, so very good job there from him. Awesome job indeed. That is the incident section, just in case, and the pit stops as well. We will be back for the post-race interviews. We'll see you in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome back to the LSI F1.5 EU Championship. We're today for the post-race interviews of the Japanese Grand Prix. We start the interviews with Robbo. Robbo, today is a dark day for you. I don't really know what to say. That was absolutely tragic. Can you take us through that one?
Yeah, I mean, from the start it was going well. Bit of a weird quali, invalidated my first lap and then got a good lap in at the end, P3. I knew me and Dave spoke and I knew he was going on soft, so I went for the hards to see if I could keep up, have the advantage at the end, which I wanted. And yeah, Mikash getting taken out, which was a shame. I was able to keep up with Dave, and it was looking good with the safety car. And I think I had slightly lower downforce than Dave, so I was faster on the straights. I had enough ERS to keep him behind for the rest of the race until I decided that I didn't want to do that anymore, and I'd prefer to be in the pit wall. And yeah, that happened. Prefer not to do that again. But we move on.
It is one of the circuits that it's very, very easy to crash into the pit wall. I think it would be nice if the pit walls maybe moved back a couple of meters. I think even a couple of meters might have actually made you be able to continue in the race. But yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's a shame from you. Sorry, I just want to quickly ask: do you think you'd have beaten your teammate today?
Yeah. Faith in myself. We'll blame it on the track designers for putting the pit wall so far out. Yeah. Definitely not my fault.
Yeah, I mean, it is dumb.
Yeah.
Someone put a wall in the way. That's how it goes. Qatar, there's a pretty interesting pit lane there as well. I think it's going to be a bit easier to not lose it on the traction before you reach it. Do you think you can do well there? Do you like that circuit? Do you like the whole dynamic of high downforce, risky on the fuel, etc.?
Yeah, Qatar's a good track. I think most of the F1 community likes it as a new track on this new game. Definitely a possible win for me. I'll take that into every race. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Hopefully you can make some progress in the championship. Really well done today, effort-wise, before the issues, of course. And it is a shame it had to end that way. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I am stupid.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Great effort today. Well done.
Thanks.
We move on to their teammate, Dave Raptors. You've won again. You extend the championship. That is perfect for you. Maybe not for McLaren, of course, because of your teammate, but did you have any doubt that you would have maybe finished P2? Or are you focusing on that P1 the entire time?
I mean, I was focusing on that P1 the entire time. I mean, we were working together at times, but ultimately, Robbo's one of my most fierce championship rivals, and it's. I think this season it's going to come down to not as much team, but focusing on solo performance and solo results, coming especially towards the end of the season. In terms of the race, qualifying obviously was really good. Got on pole and tried to went with a slightly different strategy to Robbo on the softs. That all worked well until the safety car came out, and then I was a bit screwed because I had 2 or 3 laps older tyres to everyone around me who didn't box. So I was kind of just trying to hang on to the rest for a while, but obviously with Robbo, with that unfortunate spin on the exit, I mean, just classic Robbo, honestly. Sorry to say that. But yeah, I mean, it was unlucky, and I think it wasn't all down to him. Maybe some of the game wasn't helping him out and wasn't being lucky to him. But other than that, just cruising home to the victory really after I passed Oggio, who actually put up a very, very good fight, especially on those older softs. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, overall, just good race.
Well done to you. Very well done. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this question goes. Were you actually trying to fight each other mid-race, or were you just maybe not communicating your intentions quite so well? I don't really know. I was kind of confused at why there was some battling going on mid-race and allowing Oggio to catch up, and also early on after, I think, one of the restarts, Jack Cleaver was able to catch up. What was your thought process behind that?
Yeah, so there wasn't really much communication at that time. We were kind of just going all out, as I said at the start, like start the race, kind of just help each other out, and then as we get towards the midway point, we kind of just go all out for ourselves, and I think that just worked out the best. I mean, obviously people were catching up, but I think we knew we had some pace, and I think we knew like we could hold that P1, P2, even with some battling. So yeah, I mean it's a hard one to say because I don't know the all the ins and outs, but just nothing was really communicated. So we were just going like tooth and nail the whole race, pretty much.
Fair enough. Risking it all. Well done. That is a true racing spirit. Qatar, do you like that circuit? High downforce. Does that suit you?
I have done a couple of races this year, and I don't actually enjoy it that much. I've had a couple of good races around there, but I can't seem to run low downforce to try and get more pace on the straights because I know to lose so much in the corners. So it's a very difficult track for me. The only negative of it is that I'm not going to be here next week. I don't think. So
okay. So
yeah, that's gonna bring people back into it. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not ideal. Of course, if your championship rivals do well, that's even more tragic. Calendar-wise, if I'm not mistaken, there is another break in between, and Qatar's going to be a sprint race, so we would see you in Great Britain. Do you like that circuit?
Yes, I mean, it's just like an all-round circuit. Everyone drives it a lot, and it's obviously my home race. So, I mean, I'm sure I can put on a good show for that and hopefully return with another win.
Awesome. I mean, good raceability. If you can race your teammate like you did today around that circuit, we will have an absolute banger. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I just want to say shout out to Jack in wherever he finished.
GG. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort and well deserved, Dave.
Cheers.
And we move on to Gilly. Gilly, that is a podium. Well done. Were you hoping for the P2?
Well, I disconnected at the start, so I wasn't expecting anywhere near that, so I'm very happy with the P3. Bit annoyed that I didn't get the P2, but I was like P4 on that start of that final lap, so I'll take P3.
Awesome. I mean, once again, getting positions on the penalties, but yeah, points for Ferrari. Can you say anything on behalf of your teammate, or are you not really?
If he didn't slow down the final corner, I would have got P2, so he's sacked.
Damn. Okay, well, Ferrari are in a bit of a predicament at the moment. Qatar, do you like that circuit? I mean, in the past, I will say it again and again and again. Low downforce is usually your thing. This game, I think maybe you're going for a more balanced setup. Do you think you can do well there? Do you think time penalties will be in your advantage, as this is a very increased time penalty esque circuit?
I quite like Qatar. I like it, and obviously time penalties are my thing. Pace isn't my thing, but not getting time penalties is my thing. So I haven't had much luck on that track in this game, but I'm hoping for some luck next week.
Awesome. I like it. Hopefully we can see another Ferrari on the podium. Well done today. Very good effort. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Forza Ferrari.
Okay, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. The Italians always not understanding the questions. All right, Jaromir, finally, no issues under the safety car, no issues other than that. I mean, it was pretty crazy. I think everybody had their issues at some point, but you managed to get a position at the end. Are you happy with that one?
Well, it's my best league race finish so far, so...
Do you think if maybe you were able to get past the Aston a little bit sooner, you might have had a chance at the podium?
Yes, I think so.
Awesome.
I had a lot of ERS, so I think it would have had a chance. And I also waffled the exit at the chicane at some point where we were like 3 wide or something. So yeah,
It's a shame.
that was good. I just stayed out of trouble basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, felt good.
I mean, you saved a lot to fight later on, and you had a lot of potential. It's a shame that it didn't go quite that way, but you made a massive amount of progress. So I want to say well done for that.
I mean, you would have not told me this at the beginning when I started league racing, like half a year ago, that I would do something like a good race. So, yeah, I'm pleased.
Yeah, you deserve that one. Well done. I
Cheers.
understand you may not be there for the next one, but I'm just going to ask: do you like Qatar
Well,
anyway as a circuit?
I mean, I'm considering league racing over hockey for the time being because I like it too much. So I might just be available.
Awesome. Do you like Qatar?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I like it. I'm not sure if I'm quick at it, but I like it. I like the fast, flowy tracks.
Awesome.
A lot.
Awesome. Podium?
Nah, I'm not hoping for things like that, but I'm just hoping for a good, consistent pace because that's what I will benefit from the most.
Fair enough. Well, it worked out for you somewhat in today's race, so really well done. Hopefully, it can continue to work and you can make progress throughout the season. Really well done today. One last question. Yeah. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I like Suzuka.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Awesome job.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
And we move on to Max. Max just lost out at the very end there. Can you take us through that race?
Actually, it's very good of maybe the best performance I ever made in this league, racing on the first stint on soft. And yeah, because I find myself not shaking anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but after I picked and I came into the midfield, that's Mikash and one Alpine further ahead, and yeah, the only safety car that the causes is mine, so I'm very sorry about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And after the safety car, maybe I got mentally crashed, so just can't maintain my form after my fault. So just not in a good form. Yeah.
Yeah, that made it difficult. I'm sorry for that. That's not the way you wanted to end that. Thank you for the effort once again. It's a shame, but I guess you just have to kind of move on to the next one and look forward. Qatar, do you like that circuit? Do flowing corners suit you a bit more? The Japan circuit is pretty bumpy, so a flat circuit, would you like that?
Yeah, I like that because there's not much heavy braking, so yeah, I'm actually quite in trouble on my braking, so yeah, looking forward to that.
Awesome. That is good. All right, hopefully it goes well for you there. Thank you very much for the efforts today. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
A mentally disaster.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort.
Thank you.
And we move on to Ogyo. That is a P2. Did you expect that by being on that soft tyre? Was the soft tyre the right call, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I was just about 65% tire wear at the end. So it was the perfect call, I think.
Awesome. Do you think maybe you could have done a bit better if you had that medium tyre?
No, because then I would have to pit again.
Okay, fair enough. Oh wait, did you do like a double, triple, medium or something? Ah, okay. All right.
No, I pitted for softs. That's the only pit stop I did.
Oh, okay. Wait, what? Oh, you didn't even. Okay, I didn't realize that. I'm okay. Anyway, that was epic. Very, very well fought. Very well defended. I did not think that would happen, but you managed to stay within it and save a bit of energy for the final lap. So really well done and really well deserved. Absolutely incredible. I mean, I can't say much more than that. I don't have any words to say, but it was epic. Qatar, do you like that circuit, and do you think you can repeat a podium?
I don't think I can repeat it because I was as shocked as you of getting this podium. I think even Mikas called it like before the race even started. So yeah, thank you, Mikas. But Qatar, nah, I'm not good at that track.
No?
No.
What do you think
I
is
get
the
a
weakest
lot of
part?
penalties. I've done one league race and I spun like 5 times.
So maybe the high-speed corners are catching you out, curbs maybe?
Yeah, the sausage curbs.
They're not fun. They are not fun. Well, I'm going to be optimistic and take a good result from today and hope that you get another one next time. Well done today. Very well deserved. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Crazy as fuck.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thank you.
And we move on to Tom Brainer. This time, not taken out during the safety car. You've managed to get to the end. Are you happy with that result? It's not really what you wanted, I'm sure. Later on in the Grand Prix, you were doing pretty well earlier on.
Yeah, I'm not very happy with it. The start was good, I would say. Tried the undercut on Gilly when I was in the pit. The safety car came out, so that was done. And then later on, I felt like I had the pace on these hards, but then I made the mistake, and Monk, I think Monk was it, hit me, and I lost a few positions and more important time. And then I couldn't. I haven't much time left to catch up to the drivers in front.
Yeah, I mean, it was up and down, and well done to stay in it. It wasn't easy to just stay in the race. So yeah, I mean, I can say well done for that one. Qatar, do you think you can do well there? Do you think you can finally show your potential? Do you think you can finally get a result that you deserve?
If the track limits are off, yes. I really like Qatar. For what I can say now, I think I have a good pace, but the very important thing, which will matter, of course, are the time penalties through track limits. And if I can avoid these, I think I have a good chance for P5, P6.
Awesome. I hope you can get that. I hope you can achieve that goal, and I think you can do. I definitely think you can do. So, well done. Very good effort today. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Unlucky. Pretty unlucky.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort. And that's been it for the post-race interviews. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next weekend in Qatar. I cannot wait. It's going to be a good one. Other than that, bye-bye.